Why are you looking at me that way? Is it because of my new pair of headphones? Look, I got back from that shoot in Paris and I'm here in Mumbai and... Okay, I'll take this visor off. And all of a sudden I can hear you. And well, breathing is not the same again. That's because these are the new Dyson Zone headphones. And like I told you, I'm back here in Mumbai and AQI levels, as much as we make fun of AQI levels in New Delhi, are pretty high over here as well. Nearing almost 200. And that's when I thought that the Dyson Zone headphones might make sense. Honestly, there's a lot of noise pollution because of the construction work happening in Mumbai. And then of course the dust, the smog, the pollen and all of that. Well, that's sorted out with the air purification of these headphones, and the noise cancellation is top notch. So we're going to tell you all about the new Dyson Zone headphones. Are they a true bang for your buck? And there's so much more happening on this action-packed episode of Tech Today. But until then, I'm going to go audition for the next Batman movie. Maybe I get the negative role. Let me know what you guys think on our social media handles. Get all set for Tech Today. Back to the studio for this one. Yes, you've seen the showstopper for the week already, but there's so much more happening in this show. What's happening with the festive sales? Also, we want to tell you all about what's happening at the India Mobile Congress as well. And this is my new set of headphones. No, wait. Guys, this isn't the right one. I've already showed them what those headphones look like. All the cool stuff's already done. I think we have a small mistake. Producers, can we fix this? Yeah? Where's the Dyson Zone? Okay. All right. We like to do things better late than never. Well, we like to do them actually in the nick of time on Tech Today. The Dyson Zone. Now, you've seen the end product, but what if I told you that the unboxing experience is a very special one? So let's start with that. There you go, the Dyson Zone and the visor, which helps with air purification. This is a pair of noise-cancelling headphones from the house of Dyson. Now let's divide this into two parts, because you've seen me now outdoors and I've been able to test this. Not only how I feel, but also about how others feel, especially on the streets here of Mumbai. The Dyson Zone noise-cancelling headphones. Incredibly heavy. I think I can start doing sports with these, but they are something special. Now, if you talk about pricing, let's get that out of the way right at the top of the show. It's 65,000 rupees for this particular model, the Dyson Zone Absolute Plus. 5,000 rupees lesser for the standard Dyson Zone, which is 60,000 rupees. When we were unboxing this particular device, you saw that it came with two pairs of electrostatic carbon filters, a visor cleaning brush, a USB-C charging cable, an Explorer case, an in-flight adapter kit, which is very helpful for all of my travels, a soft pouch and a visor sleeve. But that's just the unboxing experience. If you have this particular device, I can assure you one thing. It's going to be an absolute crowd puller, a conversation starter. You'll see me out on the streets of Mumbai and people are just looking at me with these weird gazes. Some are smiling, some are laughing. I've also had, well, normal Bandra mascots looking at me very strangely saying, "Why are you stealing all my thunder?" That's because I had the Dyson Zone on. So spending a couple of days outdoors with the Dyson Zone, I want to test a couple of things. Most importantly, what people thought about me wearing them. Did they think they were stylish enough? No, I'm just kidding. The two main things we wanted to test on Tech Today were, one, the noise cancellation. That means when I put it on, how well does it drown out all the surround sound and focus on the output of the sound? If you're outdoors, as a great travel accessory, especially when AQI levels are hitting 200, 300 and whatnot here in India, this might be a game changer. A few months ago, I was exclusively at Dyson headquarters in Malmesbury and I spoke to the man himself, Sir James Dyson, who revealed these to me. Thankfully, I got a sneak peek even before the rest of the media from around the world. And I was absolutely amazed. The only thing was to test them in that short time that you saw me testing these out there was not doing them enough justice. But at the end of the day, what Dyson is really good at is making the best air filtration systems. They understand batteries and they understand, well, the entire user experience with software as well. I think the fact that you have two of Dyson's smallest but most efficient, well, air purification systems on your ears makes them a little bit heavy. So that's 50 hours of ultra-low distortion audio, advanced noise cancellation, and getting full spectrum audio reproduction. And if you want to recharge these guys, you can do it from 0 to 80% in under half an hour. And the best part is there's no real power key with these headphones. So you get them, the minute you put them on, and I'm talking to you and I've gotten a click on them which says that they have been switched on. If there's any music connected to my devices, it will start playing as well. And the best part is if I want to swap over from transparency mode to active noise cancellation, you can do it on the app, of course, but there's a cool way of doing it like every other headphone. The difference with this one is the sound effects, which when I tested it in the UK more than a year ago, I thought were really cool. I didn't know if they would actually make it to the final build, but the sound effects are absolutely stellar. It's because they've tested this on several heads of different sizes and shapes. When it comes to active noise cancellation, I think it is second to none. These particular headphones come with 8 active noise cancelling microphones which monitor the surrounding sound nearly 400,000 times a second. That really cancels all the background noise, and it also has 2 additional microphones for telephony and transparency systems. Now I want to give you a live demo of what it's like using this on perhaps a Zoom call. Let's see if my team sitting in Delhi can actually hear what I am saying on the Dyson Zone. Well, just to see what that array of microphones is all about, I'm all set up. And just because I want to put the visor on to really scare the team, I'm going to do that for dramatic effect. Let's give them a quick call. Hello, Mr. Producer. How's it going? Can you hear me clearly? Okay, this is with the visor on, of course. If I get the visor off, does it still sound all right? Because I can hear a bit of the fans over here that air purification has begun. But honestly, this is what it sounds like. You'd be hearing the output of my conversation with my producer sitting in New Delhi on Zoom, with the visor, without the visor, basically with the Dyson Zone. That array of microphones, I would bet, and I'm going to hear this later in edit, is making this sound like I am speaking on a mic. Alright, so moving on, you've already heard the quality of these particular headphones. Now this is only the ANC and the transparency modes, what's it like? But let's address the elephant in the room. It comes with this visor. Globally, it's $1,000 headphone. In India, it's 65,000 rupees, this particular model. Same price as the AirPods Max. So, is this really a game changer? Well, let's find out. Now that we know that these are a very good pair of noise-cancelling headphones, and I kind of like the way they look, the one thing we need to talk about, because I tested these outdoors extensively and it's been very polluted, like I said, here in Mumbai in the midst of October. So to actually make the purification process work, there's 3 or 4 steps involved. First, all the polluted air around you is sucked into these electrostatic cups. What happens after that is that the potassium carbon filter cleans the air and it then goes through a compressor, and then this purified air is delivered contact-free through these channels in the visor. Well, very quickly, let me give you a verdict on the Dyson Zone. These are a very expensive pair of headphones, as expensive as the AirPods Max here in India. And the AirPods Max you don't see that often, but enthusiasts and Apple fans seem to have a pair with them all along. They came with their fair set of impediments as well, but the people who like them seem to love them. These are as expensive, but they come with filtration. When it comes to noise cancelling and transparency modes and just the sound quality, they are as good as it gets on the market. Is this a niche product? Yes. Will you see this on a lot of heads here in Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Calcutta? Maybe not. You didn't even see that with the AirPods Max. Will I willingly buy these and replace my XM5s? Very good at noise cancellation. Honestly, yes. And I'll tell you why. In terms of noise cancellation, they've done a very good job. They look really good. They feel very comfortable, surprisingly. But most importantly, I've read a lot about what people have been saying around the world about this piece of technology. I'm just happy I'm holding something so unique in my hands. I've been waiting for this ever since I tested it a year ago. I'm here in the Tech Today studios with the Dyson Zone. In fact, I am elated that I'm holding a piece of the future in my hands. Well, it's good to be back here in Mumbai, and honestly, you can smell it in the air that there is a lot of festive cheer. That also means if you're a tech enthusiast and you want to buy your gadgets, there's a bunch of festive sales coming up as well. In fact, we're already in the midst of festive sales season, and we've seen sales records being shattered across e-commerce portals. But what's coming up for the next few days? Of course, we have Diwali coming up, the big festive bonanza. And what kind of deals can you get on your favorite flagship devices? Here's a Tech Today special report.
Indians are celebrating this festive season with Apple this year. According to reports, for the first time ever, iPhone sales have crossed the 15 lakh unit mark in just the first week of this festive season. And though iPhone 15 is really the latest model, it's actually the previous 13 and 14 models which are flying off the shelves. It's not just the iPhone, other top-end handsets are also in huge demand. In fact, analysts here say the festive sales are being driven by premium phones this year. On Flipkart, premium segment sales grew almost 50% this year, driven by the iPhone 14 and Samsung Galaxy S21. On Amazon, the segment zoomed 200% on higher sales of iPhone 13 and Galaxy S23. The online retailers, as per a report, has clocked gross merchandise sales of 47,000 crore rupees in just the first week, growing at least 19% over the first week of 2022 festive season. And of this, 67% or nearly 32,000 crore rupees is due to mobiles, electronics and large appliances. Interestingly, it's the top-end smartphone segment which is really thriving. The mid segment is also growing, though the sub 15,000 rupee segment is shrinking this festive season. Analysts say that this could be, in part, indicative of the fact that rural and small-town India have not yet really emerged from their economic uncertainties of the last couple of years. In fact, a study has, however, noted a boom in sales of 5G-enabled handsets, especially in the 10 to 15,000 rupee price band. This is because companies like Samsung, Realme, Vivo have all launched phones in this very segment. According to Flipkart, its big billion sales saw premium smartphone segments grow a whopping 1.7 times over last year. There was a 50% rise in customers opting for exchange schemes and a 160% rise in customers going for no-cost EMIs. Meanwhile, online retailers have extended their sale offers on flagship handsets. On Apple products, the best offers are on the older iPhone 14 and iPhone 13 models. Flipkart is offering the iPhone 14 here for 57,000 rupees with an exchange offer of up to 39,150 rupees and a 10% further discount on credit cards as well. Amazon has an offer for the iPhone 13, 51,000 rupees with an exchange offer of up to 45,000 rupees and a 5% discount on some cards as well. The Samsung S23 Ultra is available at 1,15,000 on Flipkart along with an exchange offer and a 10,000 rupees card discount as well. The handset is available on Amazon for 1,04,000. Exchanging a handset could further bring down costs by more than 55,000 rupees. The OnePlus 11 handset with 16 GB RAM has a 2,500 rupee discount on Flipkart in compared to a larger 12,000 rupees off on Amazon. Xiaomi 13 Pro is only available on Amazon with a 15,000 rupees discount along with an exchange bonus there at 5% on certain cards. The great start of the festive season here, in fact, is likely to really continue with Dhanteras and Diwali that's still about 2 weeks away from now, and analysts here feel that there's a lot more, the best of it, that's yet to come.
This is my favorite segment on the show. I'm guessing it's yours as well. This is the segment where you can get all your tech queries answered by the Tech Today team. And our first question comes from Tech Today viewer Nilesh Sharma, who says, "Shall I purchase a new MacBook Pro?" Well, Nilesh, it's a very timely question and I will give you a timely answer. In fact, a scary fast answer. That's exactly what Apple's new event is all about. They've announced this for October 31st. So I'm telling you all of this because Apple has sent out a media invite with a really cool new logo talking about scary fast. And because that logo morphs into a Mac Finder icon, I'm guessing it has something to do with the launch of new MacBooks. Now, of course, this is going to be an online-only event on the 31st of October, and you can obviously tune in on Apple's social media channels, on their website, and on Apple TV. But most importantly, stay tuned to Tech Today and our social media handles, and you'll have all the updates from this particular event. But what can we really expect? I think we can expect a new 14-inch and a 16-inch MacBook Pro, most likely powered by 3nm M3 Pro and M3 Max chips. Now, I don't think we'll see any announcement to do with the MacBook Air, but since we're talking about the M3 Pro and the M3 Max chips, these will be the most powerful chips that would ever have been shipped on an Apple device. So that's worth waiting for. It's also worth mentioning that just this week, we had the iconic Snapdragon Summit in Hawaii. It's also worth mentioning that while Apple's talking about the latest and greatest in their lineup, the Snapdragon Summit by Qualcomm is taking place in Hawaii this week, and they just announced an M2 Max competitor. That means a new Snapdragon chipset, which they're calling Snapdragon X Elite. This platform comes with a 12-core Orion CPU. Now, they claim that this particular chipset can outperform the Apple M2 Max, not the M3 Max, but until now, the M2 Max, and consume a lot less power. Now, in Tech Today, we want you to make an informed purchase decision. When everyone is coming up with content which really lacks credibility, that's what we want to focus on Tech Today. Now, this is not sponsored, of course, purely based on research. And Pallavi Mishra is asking us, should I buy the Oppo Find N3 Flip or the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5? Now, you're in luck, Pallavi, because we've been testing both of them, and you'll have this comparo on the Tech Today website. This is the Oppo Find N3 Flip, and this is the Samsung Z Flip 5. Both very good devices, very similar for a bunch of use cases, but very different as well. Let me recap a little bit about these devices, and then I will tell you which one to buy. Now, of course, in terms of specs, this one comes with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chipset, has 8GB of RAM, and has a fairly decent multitasking experience. It comes on Android 13 with One UI Samsung's OS on top of it. It has a very slick interface, has improved navigation and customization options. The camera is fantastic, but that's where this particular device really scores higher. The camera module is much smaller. With this, it's a triple rear camera setup, and there's a lot of magic happening here with Hasselblad as well. But coming back to this screen, it's very smooth in terms of the interface, and you can do a bunch of things with widgets over here. They have a bit of experimental work that they're doing over here. You can access your email. It does adjust to this particular size, but then you can't reply to mails, right? So there are some sort of functional limitations. But then this particular device, the Oppo Find N3 Flip, comes with a very different processor. It comes with a MediaTek Dimensity 9000 Plus chipset. Now, it comes with 8GB of RAM, 256GB of storage, and it can manage all your basic tasks, but it runs Color OS 13, which is based on Android 13 as well. Now, this is a matter of choice. While Color OS is fairly decent, the screen, the display, comparing it to a Samsung, and in terms of the form factor, it's a little wider as well compared to the Z Flip 5. But Samsung's UI is a lot more premium to use, and even the build quality. Now, form factor aside, it is this camera bump, which was a complete surprise at the Oppo launch event I was at a few weeks ago. A triple rear camera setup on a foldable device. And honestly, the fact that it has 3 lenses on a foldable is praiseworthy by itself. Now, final verdict for you, the Tech Today community, there's a bunch of features that this doesn't have and a bunch of features that this doesn't have. This is nearly 99,000 rupees. This is 4 or 5,000 rupees cheaper. This one comes with wireless charging. The hinge mechanism is a lot more polished. It feels more premium to hold. I like the OS more as well, and it's a little bit more expensive than the Find N3 Flip. But all comes down to a couple of things. If you are absolutely obsessed with the camera, then the Find N3 Flip is the device you should go for. Save a couple of extra bucks as well. But if you want a performance monster, you want that Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, and you want a slightly more premium aspirational device. Also, if you watch a lot of those K-pop and K-dramas, then this is the phone that they're using. But I think that'll make it easier in the battle of the flippables. Honestly, if you thought this was a perfect setting for the ending of the show, all I can say is, picture abhi baki hai. Well, there's a massive event that's taking place this week. In fact, you can catch it this weekend at Pragati Maidan in New Delhi. It happens to be the India Mobile Congress. Now, whilst I watch more sunsets than Netflix, but technically I like watching Netflix more than sunset, but that's a story for another day. What you can tune into is a very special story rounding up the biggest, the flagship tech event here in India, the India Mobile Congress, a Tech Today special report.
After 5G, India aims to lead the world in 6G. That was the message of the Prime Minister as he inaugurated the India Mobile Congress held at the Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi. The focus was not just on digital India, but also connectivity.
टेक्नोलॉजी में तेजी से होते परिवर्तन के कारण हम कहते हैं द फ्यूचर इज हियर एंड नाउ। अभी कुछ मिनट पहले मैंने यहाँ एग्जीबिशन में लगे कुछ स्टॉल्स देखे। इस एग्जीबिशन में मैंने उसी फ्यूचर की झलक देखी, चाहे टेलीकॉम हो, टेक्नोलॉजी हो या फिर कनेक्टिविटी, चाहे 6G हो, AI हो, साइबर सिक्योरिटी हो, सेमीकंडक्टर्स हो, ड्रोन या स्पेस सेक्टर हो, डीप सी हो, ग्रीन टेक हो या फिर दूसरे सेक्टर्स। आने वाला समय बिल्कुल ही अलग होने जा रहा है।
Very rapid progress is going on in that sector. Close to 36,000 crore rupees have been sanctioned for connecting every village in the country.
The Prime Minister also awarded 100 5G use case labs in educational institutions across India. The initiative focuses on developing 5G apps tailored to India's unique requirements and global demands. The Prime Minister also interacted with top telecom tycoons at the event. The Prime Minister was given a demo by Reliance scion Aakash Ambani of Geospace Fiber Innovation. It is India's first satellite-based gigafiber service capable of delivering internet speeds of up to 1 Gbps and will transform high-speed broadband services in previously inaccessible areas of India.
India today ranks amongst the top 3 5G-enabled nations with over 125 million 5G users. We recently launched Jio Bharat, a revolutionary smartphone, 4G smartphone, costing just 999 rupees, lower than most 2G phones. With such bold initiatives, Jio is set to end the digital exclusion in India once and for all.
Airtel also announced its equal investment in setting up 5G stations and networks across the country. Growth in local manufacturing, global recognition in India's digital infrastructure, Airtel's 5G expansion, and PM Modi's influence on digital technology was the big focus.
ये डिजिटल पब्लिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जो है इसको इंडिया से लिफ्ट करके हम अपनी कंट्रीज में कैसे शिफ्ट करें, country after country, whether it is World Bank, United Nations, WTO, Africa Union, European Union, G20, OECD countries, BRICS, एक ही नारा लग रहा है हर जगह, digital infrastructure that India has built can accelerate the world economy, especially in those countries which have lack of infrastructure.
Over 1 lakh participants from about 22 countries are taking part in the Indian Mobile Congress, including approximately 5,000 CEO-level delegates, 230 exhibitors, 400 startups and other stakeholders. We will continue to track the developments from the event. Stay tuned.
Well, you win some and you lose some. That's the beauty of sport. And honestly, there's some hits and misses in the world of tech as well. I've really enjoyed putting this show together for you. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. Do let us know what you made of this episode of Tech Today on our social media platforms. This is your host Aayush Ailawadi saying, until next week, adios.